these things, peer pressure gets to your head. No, I want to attend. No, I want to do this. No, I also want to feel some life of, I'm always home. I'm not doing anything. Just
See, I pull up to the party. Bottle up a Bacardi. See this girl from my radar.
Hey guys, so this is a story time. Before we get into it, you're gonna be hearing a little bit of some noises in the background. That's like my mom and my aunt, so don't pay attention to that noise. I'll try my best to be as loud as possible. So let's get into it. I've done so many things in my life, and my life is just a joke. It's a joke-ish. Okay, story time about how I lied to my parents where I was going to be. I can explain. First and foremost, if you have strict parents, guys, if you have strict parents, it's really hard for you to go out to a certain place without lying. It's hard. If you have strict parents, please text me. So, if you have strict parents, feel free to come in my DM. Feel free to come and text me, and we can work things out. So, this is what happened. A day before that incident happened, my mom and I had an argument, right? We were not speaking. She stopped talking to me, and I also stopped talking to her. But it wasn't that thing of, I really didn't care because I knew we were eventually going to start speaking to each other, right? So now, on that particular day when my mom had this argument, there was a party going on, right? And I couldn't attend that party because of just certain reasons. I don't like being outside myself personally, right? So then now the next day, there was also going to be another party. So the day went by, my mom left the house, we didn't speak. The next day came, we also didn't speak on that day. And like in the morning, we're not talking, right? So in the morning, we're not speaking, right? And then I kept on seeing like most of my friends posting about the party that happened the previous day, the party that happened the previous day. So I just know these things, peer pressure gets to your head.
No, I want to attend. No, I want to do this. No, I also want to feel some life of, I'm always home. I'm not doing anything. Just those two my thoughts are coming. Peer pressure, guys. Peer pressure is real. So yeah, I told myself, I think I can make up this lie. I think I can tell my mom that my close friend, like, so I can't really mention how many friends I have, but one of my close friends, my mom knows her and she knows the background and whatnot, right? So I told my mom, my close friend's birthday is today, her mom has invited us to her place. She's going to have a party. Then my mom is still upset with me. And then she just goes like, She ignores me. Then I was like, Then I told myself, I'll continue asking because I really want to go. So she's heading out and I had to go and open the gate for her. So then I'm at the gate. And before she drives off, I tell her, I was like, so can I go? And she says, okay, fine, go. But she was still upset with me. But I was like, at least she allowed me to go. So now, my other close friend, I text her, tell her that, I'm coming. My mom has allowed me, but I also tell her the lie. Now, I had to go to her place so that we can walk together to the party. So, everything is going well. It's going in the right direction. Like, you wouldn't even suspect anything would go wrong on this day. Like, I just told myself, I'm going to enjoy myself and I'm eventually going to come back home, right? Like, nothing happened. So I go to my friend's house, my other close friend's house. I go to her house, we go to the party, and we're at the house. So we're chilling, and the party was supposed to start initially at like 15, somewhere there. So that by like 17, 18, some of us were supposed to go home, we go home. So we get to the party at like 15, and we find a few girls. We sit. The party hasn't really started, right? Like the drinks haven't yet come. We are enjoying ourselves. We're listening to some music. We're dancing and doing these small things. Niche the boys haven't yet come, right? Like some of them had started arriving like at 16, somewhere there. So the party hadn't really started. And then when it started becoming good, it was already 16:30. Now some of us who have strict parents, you have to go back home at 17. And I was like, bro, I can't just reach here. I haven't even enjoyed myself and I start going back home. I couldn't do that. So me and my stupid ass, my mom hasn't even texted me. She hasn't called me. My dad hasn't done the same, right? So me in my head, I'm like, if I'm at this location and I told my parents I'm at another location at my friend's house, what if my dad goes to go and pick me up and I'm not at the house? And you just know how those things go. So now I told myself, okay, I'll text my mom or call her and tell her, no, the party started a bit late, so my friend's mom is going to take us home. She said she's going to drop us home because it's going to be late before we finish. Me, I'm thinking I'm slick, I've done the deeds. Then my mom just texts me back, send me your friend's mother's number. And this is where everything went down to hell. This is where I
realized that this is an accident.
that day. But yeah, so my mom texts me, send me a friend's number. I been, to those, one of the girls, she's like older than us, so I said that no, my mom this explained. So I texted her and I explained everything. First she was refusing, and then she finally agreed to talk to my mom and pretend as though she was a mom herself. Guys, I'm never doing that again. And to the people I caused trouble, I am sorry. I am so sorry. It's not going to happen again, probably, but yeah. So my mom calls my other friend who I was with. She calls the mom. No, have you heard about this party that's going on? This and this and this and this and that. My friend's mom says, I don't know anything. I know nothing about this party. I only knew about the party the other day. So I get myself in trouble and I also get my other friend in trouble, right? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. But then now they start explaining, they start shouting, no, just go back home. Shanshani, 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 Shanshani. That whole thing, that whole scenario comes about, and I have to start off. I have to go home even before the party starts. Sorry. So I start heading back home. I start walking home, and I'm thinking to myself, no, I'm gonna be beaten and whatnot. So I'm getting home. On my way home, now my older sister calls me. Then she goes like, so where did you go? You just know when your mom's upset with you, they can't really talk to you. They have to your older siblings, and your siblings have to start now and talk some sense into you, right? So now I'm talking to my older sister. Mind you, my older sister knew exactly where I was. I told her about the place, the time, and everything. I told her, but I didn't really tell her exactly, but I told her part of the truth, right? Right. So I'm laughing about it, and I'm telling her, is mommy sounding upset? Is mommy doing this? Because she knows how my mom is. So she tells me that you see when you go home, she's not really shouting and she's not doing all those things, right? Just tell the truth when you get home. So me, in my head, I know my parents aren't yet home. So I get home, I just tell the hell, but it finished fast, and I'm back. So my parents are not yet home, and I'm waiting for them to come back. So eventually I get home, and I start putting my lies in place. Like, I couldn't necessarily tell the truth, because if I tell the truth, I'll get beaten and I'll get shouted at.
Me cry. No. I don't cry.
So I'm telling myself, okay, I will maintain my lie, but I have to lie in a proper way, like make it sound believable and the like. So now I'm trying to explain myself. Before they get home, my sister told me, before they get home, just text them and apologize and the like. So I start putting my lies in place, right? So because I took videos at the place, I just had to lie that, okay, this is my friend's house and I definitely was at a party and the like. But I text my mom. I sent her a long text, a long paragraph. I text her, and then I send videos. Before they got home, I send videos of the place, the apparent cake, and yeah. So I send those things. They don't reply. My dad calls me. He goes like, where are you? And I said, I'm home. Then he goes like, where did you go? Then I say, I went to my friend's party, like I said before. And then he goes like, you're lying. And I'm like, I'm not lying. I can send you videos and whatnot. So he says, okay, send me those videos. He cuts the line. So now I start, doing editings, just these things, finding a cake and the like. So I send for him. He doesn't reply. He doesn't call me back. My mom also does the same. She doesn't reply. She doesn't call me back. And it's quiet. So you know that thing where they say it's better you get a reply and you're shouted at by your parents than they're just quiet, because you just never know how they're gonna react or how they're gonna come out. So in my head, I'm just like, if they haven't replied, if they haven't called me, I'm in shit, because it's better when they reply to you and they tell you what's going on, and like them just leaving you in suspense. Like, you're not going to be okay mentally. You're going to be thinking about it and everything. So I wait for them to come back home. They came back home at like, what time was that? Like 19:20, somewhere there. So the time they came back home, and I'm being a good girl. I even cook, I prepare their food, and they like, and when they came, they didn't say anything. They're just acting like everything is normal. And in my head, I'm like, why aren't you saying anything? Like, I expect you to shout at me and whatnot. So I finished preparing the food. I served them. So I served them the food. And they're eating. Then I come back to my bedroom. And then I just hear my dad calling me Margaret. Because when my dad calls me by my full name, just know you've done something. When my dad calls you by your full name, like me personally, when my dad calls me by my full name, I know I have done something or it's very serious. So I'm just like, shit. I'm dead. So he calls me and I quickly get up, go and tell myself, remember what you practiced. You're going to say that. I, give myself hype. I just,
It's not your fault. It's not my fault.
whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen. That's what I tell myself. So I go to the living room. Then he tells me, sit here. Nish, my mom doesn't care. She's on her phone. But she's just like, I'm done with this girl. I am done. Me, knowing that my mom is the one who talks a lot. My dad is on the quiet side, right? My mom is not saying anything. She's just on her phone. She's not even looking at me. And I was just like, Nish, I've messed up that bad. My mom is not talking. So she told me I'd sit here. In fact, my dad told me sit here. So in our living room, we had a family meeting. That family meeting, my dad's the one that started it. He started saying, where did you go? No, why lying? You become a liar. And one thing my dad hates is lies. My dad hates lies. You're better off telling him the truth and just receive a good response from him than lying to him. He hates lying. So he's saying, you're telling me lies now. You started lying. What's going to happen in this house if you start lying? This, that. He starts giving me a lecture, right? But take note that they're not shouting at me or just having like parent-daughter conversation, like family meeting for me personally. So yeah, they start questioning me, where did you go? After that, they even ignore the whole situation about me lying. They ignore the whole situation about where I was. Now it comes into a lecture. Like, we talked about so many things. And it was like a reality check for me personally. Like, that day just taught me a lot about life, and it was a really good conversation. I loved that conversation. In as much as I lied, it was a good conversation, and it just gave me like a reality check like that. So and our conclusion with that whole topic and that whole family meeting was that I'm never going out to any place, so I'm not allowed to do those things. And when I'm home, I should be productive. I shouldn't always be on my phone. I should start studying. Yes, studying. It was a really whole conversation that we had. But yeah, that's what happened to me, and till to date, they still use that against me.
God will make a way.
I'm not allowed to go outside because of my lies. And yeah, so even if I say something, no, can I go this is, I'm telling the truth, this and this, but they're like, are you really telling the truth? Because not so long ago you lied about where you were going to be. So that's my life, guys, as of now. So when you tell me, no, Margaret, you should come to this place, no, you should do this, no, can you go out, don't go outside me. I normally say, guys, I'm grounded. Like, so yeah, that's what happened to me after that whole conversation. And we never really talked about it, but any single time I want to go somewhere or I have something to do, they don't believe me. They don't. They say, are you really going to do that? We are going to do another thing because last time you lied to us. So we don't really trust you or believe anything that comes out from that mouth about where you're going to be. So now if I want to go somewhere, it came to an extent where, since my sister came back home, so it went to an extent where if I want to do something and I want to go somewhere, I have to be my sister. My sister will drop me off, wait for me, and bring me back home. That's how it was. That's how it was, and that's how it is. If I want to do something, want to go somewhere, my dad's gonna drop me off and come pick me up. Yeah. As I'll tell them, but you're wasting fuel. I can go on my own. You don't really have to waste the fuel. And they're like, and they tell me, are you the one that buys fuel? Are you the one that removes the money for fuel? Why are you concerned? That's how they answer me. So yeah, that's the story about how I lied to my parents about where I was going to be and what I was going to be doing and what time I was going to come home. So right now, they don't trust me. I'm still grounded, and they're like, thank you guys for watching.
Pull up on it, pull up to the bumper, sit down on it. Wine for me, baby, spit down for me. Let them out, you know,